They left you in the storm, didn't they? Naked, bruised, screaming against winds that didn't give a damn if you survived. You begged the gods, you prayed to the stars. Silence. That's when it started. The cracking, the splitting, the roar inside your ribs. Not a voice, no, a presence. Something old, something violent, something real. And in that silence, you met your fire. They didn't just walk away, they watched you drown first. Watched you reach for them with cracked hands and blood in your teeth, and still they turned their backs. That wasn't abandonment, that was execution. But you didn't die. No, you transformed. The cold didn't freeze you, it tempered you. The silence didn't break you, it introduced you to the animal inside. And in that moment, something inhuman opened its eyes. Not just survival, ascension. The world thinks birth is beautiful. Yours wasn't. Yours was primal, messy, volcanic. You didn't come screaming into light. You dragged yourself out of the abyss, fingers raw, eyes burning. You weren't born clean. You were born in ash. In that black void, you learned to listen to the rhythm of your rage. It became your heartbeat. Every thud, a war drum. Every breath, a challenge to the universe that tried to erase you. People talk about finding themselves. You built yourself from nothing. No map, no guide, just instinct and agony. You stitched your spirit together with barbed wire and fury. You taught your bones how to carry more than they should. And when it was too much, you grew new ones, stronger, meaner. You didn't rebuild, you evolved. Not into something better, into something necessary. And now, you don't flinch at lightning. You don't fear storms. You are made of the same damn force that tried to kill you. Every time thunder rolls, it sounds like your name. You don't ask the skies for mercy, you command them. Because the fire inside you isn't just alive, it's hungry. And it remembers. It remembers everything. You weren't built in peace. You weren't carved by kindness. You were forged in betrayal, in isolation, in nights so black they swallowed your name. While they laughed in comfort, you clawed through. Shadows, you ate your pain, chewed it slow, turned it into muscle, grit, fury. Every tear became a weapon. Every scar, a page in your legend. You didn't crumble, you adapted, not because you wanted to, but because you had to. That's the difference. You became the storm. They thought your silence meant surrender, but you weren't quiet. You were gathering, sharpening, grinding your pain into something sacred. While they mocked your solitude, you turned it into a forge. No distractions, no illusions. Just raw steel and the kind of stillness that breaks cowards. You became comfortable in discomfort. You danced with darkness, and in that dance, you found rhythm, brutal, honest, yours. Every betrayal was a lesson, every abandonment, a gift. They didn't know they were teaching you how to live without them, how to move without applause, how to breathe in the void. And you did. You learned how to walk with broken feet, how to fight with an empty chest, how to scream without making a sound. They broke pieces off you thinking it would end you. All they did was sculpt the monster they now fear. You didn't survive the fire. You embraced it. You invited it to stay. Let it eat your fear. Let it boil your weakness. The flames didn't scar you. They anointed you, burned away the lies. They fed you, burned away the soft parts that begged for approval. Now there's only bone and blood and purpose. The kind that doesn't ask, doesn't beg, the kind that takes. This isn't vengeance, this is awakening. You don't want their apologies, you don't want their validation, you want the truth. And the truth is, you're still standing. Not despite the pain, but because of it. You needed the storm, needed the war, because without it you never would have seen what you're really made of. And now that you know, there's no going back. They say you're too intense, too cold. Too much. Good, let them choke on your fire. You were not made to be palatable. You were made to be remembered. You carry the weight of 1,000 collapsed bridges. You didn't walk away. You burned them. So there was no going back. Every exit sealed. every escape erased. The only path is forward, through hell. They call you cold because you don't flinch anymore. You don't chase closure. You don't beg to be understood. You cut, you move, you conquer. Your warmth was currency, and you spent it on people who tried to bury you. Now you speak in silence and move like a storm that forgot how to stop. Your eyes don't just look, they burn through masks. You're not bitter, you're surgical. You don't seek revenge, you become the consequence. And when you arrive, you bring the reckoning they never saw coming. You learned to walk with broken feet and still outpaced everyone who swore you'd never stand again. You built strength in the shadows, unseen, uncelebrated, unstoppable. While they chased clout, you chased clarity. While they drowned in comfort, you swam in fire. Your progress wasn't loud, it was lethal. Every lesson carved into your skin like war paint. Every setback just more ammunition. You never needed applause, only pain and direction. And here's the truth they won't say out loud. They fear you now, not because you're evil, not because you're cruel, but because you don't need them. Because you found power in being alone. Because you wear your scars like armor and speak like someone who's danced with death and lived to smirk about it. They can't control you. They can't manipulate you. You outgrew their games. Now you're rewriting the entire battlefield. So walk through the flames like they're petals. Let them whisper. Let them wonder how you're still standing. They don't know the fire within you doesn't just burn, it guides. You are the fire now, untamable, undeniable. And if they think you're too much, then they've never met someone who survived themselves. You're not here to shrink, you're here to scorch. Do you know what that does to a soul? Being hunted by your own demons and choosing to turn around and hunt them back, it wakes something primal, a beast that doesn't ask for permission, doesn't kneel, doesn't break. You unlearned mercy. You forgot fear. You walked into your own nightmares and made a home because you realized chaos didn't destroy you. It built you. And the fire? It's just getting started. You stopped running the day you realized fear was a lie dressed in your father's voice, your lover's silence, your friend's betrayal. You stared it down. You didn't blink. And in that stillness, something shifted. You felt the chains crack, the illusions crumble. You didn't kill your demons. You invited them in, made them sit at the table, taught them your name, then made them kneel, because you're not afraid of darkness anymore. You wield it. You became the thing you needed when no one showed up. The protector, the punisher, the prophecy. When your heart broke, it didn't shatter. It split open like the earth, and from it, a new creature crawled out, eyes glowing, voice shaking with purpose. No more begging, no more explaining, no more waiting for someone to choose you. You chose yourself, and that made all the difference. Now you don't chase closure, you become it. The people who once pitied you now watch you in silence. They feel your presence like a threat, not because you harm, but because you illuminate. You expose weakness simply by existing. You remind them of what they buried. You mirror their lies, and they hate you for it. Not because you did something wrong, but because you had the audacity to survive what they couldn't even face. You thrived in the wreckage, so keep hunting, keep walking with your demons on leashes and your fire in your lungs. You don't need validation. You are the living proof that pain can birth purpose. You are the line in the sand, the last breath before surrender, the silence before the strike. And when they ask how you made it through, look them dead in the eye and say, I stopped fearing the fire because I realized I am it. Let the world tremble at your silence. Let them flinch when you speak. You are not angry, you are awake. And now that you see clearly, nothing can unsee you. They'll try to shame your scars, mock your solitude, downplay your rage. But they weren't there. They didn't hear the cracking of your bones beneath the weight of your own resurrection. You're not bitter, you're purified. You bled out weakness. Now all that's left is truth. Let them whisper when you enter a room. Let them sense the weight of everything you've carried without ever speaking it aloud. Because real power doesn't yell, it radiates. It shakes the soul without making a sound. You've become the embodiment of restraint, of held-back fury, and forged purpose. You are the calm before the detonation, and they feel it. They fear it. They know instinctively you've died 1,000 invisible deaths and resurrected yourself without a witness. That's why your silence screams louder than their noise. That's why your very presence exposes their pretending, and they'll never admit it. But you've already won. They don't get it. The nights you stayed awake staring into the abyss, daring it to stare back. The mornings you rose with nothing but grit in your teeth and a whisper in your soul saying, "Not yet, get up." They didn't see the 1,000 times you almost broke. Almost, but didn't. Because something inside you refused to let go, refused to die quietly. You were never waiting to be saved. You were becoming the storm, one cell at a time. And now that you've tasted this transformation, you'll never go back to softness. You're not just surviving anymore. You're hunting destiny. You are the walking aftermath of every betrayal they thought would finish you. The living contradiction to every doubt they spoke behind your back. They wanted you numb. They wanted you to disappear. But you endured. You sharpened your soul against the grindstone of their indifference. Now you're not seeking revenge. You're moving like purpose carved from vengeance. You don't need to strike back. You are the strike. Every move, a reckoning. Every breath, a declaration. You are not here to be liked. You are here to be remembered. Violently, beautifully, eternally. So let the world feel that shift when you walk in. That gut punch of knowing they're in the presence of someone reborn. Someone who crawled through fire barefoot with broken bones and built an empire out of pain. Let them call you ruthless, intense, unreachable. Let them misunderstand you. You weren't made to be understood. You were made to be undeniable. And now that you've met the truth within, you will never again water yourself down for the comfort of cowards. You are wide awake. You are dangerous. And for the first time in your life, you are completely free. So, if you feel that burn in your chest right now, don't ignore it. That's the fire within. That's the scream no one heard. That's the child they abandoned, the warrior they couldn't kill, the shadow that learned to walk in daylight. You don't need their approval. You don't need their praise. You are not a creation of comfort. You are chaos given form, fire given breath, purpose given teeth. That fire is not random. It's not a glitch or a curse. It's a signal, the origin point of your purpose screaming to be unleashed. It's every buried scream clawing its way to the surface, demanding to be seen. It's your primal self shaking off the chains of your past, daring you to rise like hellfire. Don't drown it, don't sedate it, feed it. Let it rip apart your limitations. Let it burn the mask you've been forced to wear, the one built by fear, silence, and playing small. You don't belong in their boxes. You don't need their roadmap. You were born to set the path ablaze. You were never weak. You were just asleep, conditioned to doubt yourself, trained to shrink, but no more. That burn in your chest, that's you, unfiltered. That's rage transformed into resolve. It's not chaos for the sake of chaos. It's divine disorder. It's the reshaping of reality through raw willpower. You are not here to ask permission. You are here to rewrite the laws. You've tasted the void and spit it back out. And now, every moment you hesitate, you're robbing the world of the unchained version of you it desperately needs. Don't just embrace your fire, become it. Burn loud, burn unapologetically. Let it consume everything false around you until only the truth remains. That's what real power looks like, not in control, but in authentic destruction. The world doesn't need another tame soul pretending to be fine. It needs you in your rawest form, teeth bared, heart exposed, walking through the wreckage like you belong there, because you do. You're not the aftermath. You are the catalyst. You are the spark in the powder room. the match in the mouth, of fear. And when they finally ask what changed, why you look different, move different, speak like your voice is lined with lightning, tell them this: I stopped apologizing for being made of fire. You were never meant to be lukewarm. You were never meant to blend in. You were always the outlier, the outcast, the anomaly. And now you're the awakening. The fire within has found its form. Let it roar, let it scorch, let it build the new world. One breath, one burn, one battle at a time. There will be no applause when you rise, only silence and fear, and that's perfect. Let the weak crave cheers. You crave impact. You are not here to entertain. You are here to invade. With every breath, you reclaim what was stolen. With every step, you echo like thunder in the bones of cowards. Let them watch. Let them talk. You're not one of them. You never were. You don't need a crown to rule. You don't need a throne to command presence. You walk in ruins like a king born from ash, not decorated but proven. Because the world doesn't remember the pretty. It remembers the relentless. And that's what you are. A force wrapped in flesh. Hunger wrapped in will. You didn't rise for applause. You rose because no one else would. The silence isn't emptiness, it's respect. The kind only earned through blood, bone, and becoming. You didn't survive to blend in. You survived to break through. And now they'll say you changed. As if staying soft in a world this savage is a virtue. No, you evolved. The version of you they loved was dying. This one is unapologetically alive. You learned to walk with ghosts. You learned to carry pain like armor. You don't run from the fire, you feed it. Every failure, every betrayal, every damn night you wanted to end it all, now fuels the inferno that carries your name. Let them be confused. Let them whisper. Let them wish they had your fire. But never mistake your silence for surrender, because you are no longer chasing anything. You are the storm that others must prepare for. You no longer knock on doors. You kick them down. You don't hope for a chance. You take it. You don't follow signs. You become the omen. Every breath you take is proof that nothing could kill the fire they tried to smother. You are not here for balance. You are here to tilt the axis. One move at a time, one breath at a time, one unbroken chain at a time. So go ahead. Let the world call you ruthless. Let them say you've changed. They don't know the price you paid. They don't see the ashes you crawled from. They don't understand that what broke you rebuilt you, stronger, sharper, louder. You're not here to explain yourself. You're here to remind them that fire within, it's not a spark anymore. It's an inferno. And now that it's awake, there's no stopping what comes next. So rise, not as a hero, not as a victim, but as the nightmare they whispered about behind locked doors. You are the war they thought was over. You are the echo of every scream that didn't die, born from chaos, sharpened by solitude, fueled by fire. And when you walk, the world will know you were never meant to kneel. So let them cling to comfort like a drug. Let them drown in soft lies and fragile illusions. You've outgrown all that. You don't fit in their world because you were never made for cages. You shattered the glass they built around your spirit and walked out, bleeding, yes, but unbroken. You weren't designed to follow rules written by the weak to protect themselves from the strong. Your existence is a threat to every coward who chose safety over growth, and every time you breathe, it reminds them what they could have been. If they hadn't bowed, you didn't bow, you broke, and then you rebuilt, harder, colder, realer. That's what terrifies them, because they see it in your eyes now. The weight, the knowing, the edge. You've tasted death. Not just the physical kind, but the kind where your soul gets torn into pieces and you're forced to rebuild it from ash. They don't understand what it's like to bury parts of yourself so deep just to survive. But you do. You remember who you were before the chaos and what you had to kill to become who you are now. That fire, it's not rage, it's clarity. You see through their masks, through their noise, through their shallow games. You don't play anymore. You create the battlefield, and on that battlefield, there's no pity, no apologies, just will. You move like thunder, precise, brutal, unstoppable, not because you're fearless, but because you've danced with fear and made it your partner. Every failure, every betrayal, every back turned on you, that wasn't your end. That was your forge. They wanted to see you quit. You chose to become a problem they couldn't erase. Now you don't knock on doors. You rip them off the hinges. You don't ask for space. You take it, not to prove anything, but because you earned it in blood. So rise, not gently, not gracefully, but like a damn reckoning. A force that doesn't ask, doesn't wait, doesn't need permission. You're not here to be liked. You're here to lead, to stand where others tremble, to speak when others go silent, to build when others run. That's your fire, that's your chaos, that's your birthright. And every step you take, every soul you shake awake, is proof that the darkness never broke you. It revealed you.